Donald Trump is panicking on multiple fronts this morning. Iran has hacked the Trump regime. They got into Trump FBI Director Kash Patel's emails. They've been posting photos of Patel, one of his resumes they posted. Also, Trump is panicking as the United States intelligence services are saying that U.S. and Israel likely only destroyed about 33% of Iran's ballistic missile and drone capabilities. The remainder is unaccounted for and is likely in underground facilities that Iran has easy access to. And that's why Iran continues with its ballistic missile barrages in Israel and the surrounding Arab nations, as well as these Shahed drone attacks. And Trump, from what many people are saying, he's turning his panic into just not even wanting to think about the war anymore. Lots of top White House officials are saying that Donald Trump he obfuscates between, we need to bomb and invade, to getting just very bored and doesn't want to even talk about it. And he's losing interest in it and just doesn't find it fascinating anymore. Let's just dig through all of the facts here, because there's been a lot of alarming news this morning. So the first big headline, of course, is that the Iranian state-backed Handala Group, their hack team, has breached FBI Director Kash Patel's personal email. They were posting his resume and several older photos of Patel. You can see some of those photos here. There are photos of Patel sniffing cigars, spreading out on a chair, looking kind of weird. And these Iranian hackers are saying, this is just the beginning. You've now been added to our list, and we're going to be releasing more about Kash Patel. And so Patel's probably panicking, thinking, what did I put in my email? What are in my messages? Iran has access to all of my material. Now, Midas Touch Network viewers, you're probably aware of the Handala Group, because the Handala Group was one of the groups that was able to hack into the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak's email and show connections between Barak and Epstein months and months and months before some of the Epstein files were released. You'll recall last year we reported on the Handala attack of Prime Minister Barak. Dropsite did a really good job on this as well. And that was one of the first times we really got to see that these connections between Epstein and Ehud Barak and other individuals as well, and other world leaders, which of course we knew about, but to see him in the emails there for the first time, lots of connections between Epstein and Putin, lots of that came out at that period of time. We'll be following if Handala is going to be publishing additional photos and dirt on Kash Patel, but lots of panic happening right there. Meanwhile, GB Ghalibaf, the head of the Iranian parliament, posted the following message this morning. How can the U.S., which can't even protect its own soldiers at its bases in the region and instead leaves them stashed away in hotels and parks, protect them on our soil? And of course, this is referring to how now the United States has evacuated multiple military bases in the Middle East. 13 military bases have been evacuated by the United States. And American soldiers are now in various hotels there, which Iran said are legitimate targets for Iran, basically the U.S. abandoning those bases. And that's what's being alluded to there, as lots of reporting still says these Marine Expeditionary Units from the U.S. are heading in for this possible invasion of Karg Island, which can be imminent right now. Meanwhile, you had the Iranian president, Pezeshkian, showing up in public today. He's out there visiting stores, and Iranian state regime media is showing that he's walking around and shaking hands with people. And they're purposefully showing this because, the U.S. is saying all of their leadership has been decimated and no one knows who the leaders are. And meanwhile, they're showing footage like this. And is it propaganda? Certainly is. But why are they showing it? To counteract when Donald Trump says they've been obliterated and decimated. They don't have missiles anymore. And they're begging for negotiations. And Iran's like, we are not begging for negotiations at all. We don't trust you in negotiations. If there's to be any negotiations, our bright lines are, we're not talking about our ballistic missiles. We're going to enrich uranium in the future. We're not going to agree to not ever enrich uranium. We control the Strait of Hormuz. You have to guarantee security for Hezbollah and Iran. And we need reparations here in Iran. I mean, that's what Iran said. That's the threshold to even start a negotiation, at least, is what Iran is saying there. By the way, there was footage that emerged today of Iran's soccer team, their national football team, honored the Manab schoolgirls by holding small backpacks during the national anthem. Now, this is the team that Donald Trump said if they showed up at the World Cup in the United States, it may be very dangerous for them, or words to the effect where Trump threatened the lives of the soccer team. And We have our Washington, D.C. bureau, I'm sure you're aware, with Scott McFarlane, who leads it right now. Veteran reporter Pablo Manriquez is out there as well. They've been speaking with lots of members in Congress today about whether members of Congress think it's safe for foreign countries to send their teams, whether regardless of if it's Iran, just anyone to send their teams to the United States during the World Cup. I'm going to do a video on this later, but lots of members of Congress are saying, we think the United States is too dangerous for you to send your teams right now and for even people to show up to right now. And as someone living in the United States, I don't disagree with that assessment right now. I mean, Trump has turned this into a deranged fascist country that indiscriminately at Donald Trump's whim, people are thrown into concentration camps here and detention centers. It is really, really getting bad here. Also, additional data points this morning. India and Russia verbally agreed this morning to resume direct sales of Russia's liquefied natural gas to India for the first time since the start of the Ukraine war, violating Western sanctions. But at this point, Trump is promoting Putin. Trump is a Putin bootlicker. We've always known that. I did a report this morning, all hell breaks loose as Trump surrenders to Russia, right? Because Russia sent its top Duma officials, that's like basically the equivalent of its Senate, here to the Capitol building, where MAGA Republican Congress members and Trump State Department officials gave him tours of the Capitol. They gave him gifts. They walked him around Washington, D.C. As Russia is helping Iran kill Americans and target American bases. The U.S. removes sanctions from Russian oil, Iranian oil, and then invites the Russian Duma officials, who are all U.S. sanctioned as well, to visit the United States and take tours of the Capitol and meet with all these MAGA Republican Congress members. I mean, it's beyond traitorous and